Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. In our top story, Innovative and Choice Wireless have merged together as a new unified company. The merge means the only telecommunications company in the VI is offering a complete line of services including TV, internet, telephone, and wireless. The new name, VIA, was revealed during company meetings to employees on Tuesday, and an official ribbon-cutting ceremony was held today. Here's more.
I'm with Choice Wireless.
And I'm with Innovative.
We're better together.
During company announcements at the former Innovative on St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix on Tuesday, the grand reveal of the new name and logo of the merged company of Innovative and Choice was announced.
We're very proud of the brand. We're very proud of being Virgin Islanders. No other company can say that, and no other company can give you all these services. We're proud to be in everybody's home.
The Better Together team of Innovative and Choice Wireless and the CEO, Alvaro Pilar, talked about the new branding and the new customer experience.
Oh, we're here very happy at the new VIA headquarters in St. Thomas. I think it's a unique day because today starts the new company. And it's not a new company just because we changed the name. We've been working with the employees, we've been working with the network, we have done a lot of work in the background to make this new name VIA resound on everybody's head and be in everybody's.
Employees also learned more about the mission statement of the premier local telecommunications provider in the U.S. VI. The grand opening and ribbon-cutting ceremony at the Tutu Park location on St. Thomas drew many officials.
Being here today, I've seen the beginning of a promise that was made to the Public Services Commission by Mr. Pilar, that they're going to rebrand the company and they're going to provide a product to this community that will be second to none. I believe today is the beginning of that. The printing of the logo, VIA, it's interesting to understand what it is. Virgin Islands, and have included a vernacular. You know, the Crucians themselves, we have that accent, there, over there, over here. So VIA, we there here. So I really like that.
The company's rebranding is its commitment to the community. It's given a local name, a VIA, that also speaks to it being born here. A local company investing its resources into a community, hiring Virgin Islanders to run and operate a communication entity. And I think that that's a very good opportunity for us to continue our economic development.
I feel like it's like a homecoming of sorts for me because I worked at Innovative for a combined 8 years, and to see what it is today, I'm really excited for the employees who have brought it this far. What we were then and what it is today are two different things. I thank VIA for being such a good corporate citizen, and with this type of rebranding, I think they bring a newness back to the community.
I'm very excited. I think it's going to be a long journey. We still have a lot of work to do. I realize that we have a lot of work to do, but we're ready and we want to be part of your family. Thank you.
Innovative Havenside Mall location was permanently closed on April 13th to prepare for the grand unveiling, and we'll hear more about the new brand and customer experience, how it will benefit customers. Here's an update. Kevin Rodriguez, who has been strongly seeking legal actions against both the Virgin Islands election system and in the past the Virgin Islands 32nd legislature, has lost his appeals battle filed with the Third Circuit Court of Appeals over his motion to block the certification of the April 8th elections. Mathematically, Janelle K. Saru won the April 8th elections. Well, yesterday at the election systems meeting, several attending members blamed the 32nd legislature for acting cowardly and not executing their legislative powers. As of today, no vote was made to certify the election. Turning to crime reports, police say on April 18th at approximately 11:42 p.m., the 911 call center dispatched officers to La Grande Princess Christiansted in reference to a robbery. Contact was made with a female victim who stated she was approached by an unknown armed and masked black male, an individual who pointed a gun to her head and demanded that she give the keys to her vehicle. She then stated that he drove off with her vehicle, fleeing the area in a westerly direction. The victim was not injured. This case is actively under investigation by the Criminal Investigation Bureau. If you have any information on the incident or any other crime, please be sure to contact the Criminal Investigation Bureau at 348-778-2211 St. Croix, 340-774-2211 on St. Thomas, Crime Stoppers VI at 1-800-222-TIPS or 911. Steve Stevens, who killed himself Tuesday as he was being chased by state trooper. Now, Stevens' ex-girlfriend is speaking out for the first time since her former boyfriend Steve Stevens murdered an elderly man and then posted the video on Facebook. Joy Lane speaks out about the ordeal and what her life has been like for the past 48 hours. She said the two had dated for a while and even looked at engagement rings not too long ago. But she said while the two remained friends, the two mutually parted ways, and she urged Stephen to seek help for gambling issues. Lane found out about the murder of Robert Goodwin when a friend called her on Sunday. Keeping our eye on the economy, let's take a look at the stock market watch with the New York Stock Exchange. According to the numbers, we can see the Dow down 118, NASDAQ down 13, S&P 500 down 4. Coming up on NEWS2 in our Carnival Corner, how did our young Calypsonians do during the junior competition? We'll have the highlights and the winners. That's coming up next. Welcome back. Governor Mapp reported that there are $43 million of delinquent income taxes, gross receipt taxes, and hotel occupancy taxes owed to the government that has accumulated over the last 10 years as part of the revenue enhancement initiatives to bridge the gap on the economic shortfalls in the territory. The governor has assembled a task force. Stephanie Brown reports.
Earlier today, the governor expounded on further fiscal stability initiatives that include the collection of outstanding income taxes revenue.
We're going to form a task force dealing with fraudulent taxpayers. There are three specific set of taxpayers or non-taxpayers that we are after.
Those individuals include individuals that reside in the Virgin Islands and receive income and payments and do not file their taxes at all. Persons that file tax returns and have outstanding balances and have not paid. Persons that live and reside in the territory but file their taxes outside of the Virgin Islands. The governor further explained that violating VI tax code impacts the well-being of the entire Virgin Islands, and he also charged IRB Director Marvin Pickering and the Attorney General Claude E. Walker with the task of aggressively collecting outstanding taxes. During the finance press conference, Governor Mapp addressed the expansion of private sector investments in the territory and his reform proposals for the Economic Development Commission, better known as the EDC program.
I disapproved 11 of them. I believe 4 or 5 of them were returned to me with almost a quadrupling of commitment of jobs and similar quadrupling of charitable giving to the community, which was subsequently approved. There were about 4 applications for renewal where there were just simply gross violations of their certificates.
Taxpayers were also informed that they may see the release of some tax returns before the St. Thomas Carnival, and the governor also began to unveil some of his plans to restructure the government retirees' medical benefits in the future. For NEWS2, I'm Stephanie Shalana Brown.
Now, in the press conference, the governor also shared that he is aware of the issues facing GERS, but once he has bridged the financial gap in the central government, he will address systems inefficiencies. We'll turn it to our Caribbean news. We turn to Dominica. Gender-based violence is the topic in Dominica. A nonprofit tackles ways to address this issue. Here's more.
A recently launched non-governmental organization is developing a more creative forum in which to tackle incidents of gender-based violence in society. Levy Dominic, an awareness campaign, was launched in November last year to raise greater awareness of abuse in Dominica and to help reduce those numbers. Coordinator of Levy Dominic says a boys' club is among the campaign's plans to help combat gender-based violence in the country.
We are all involved in social media campaigning, but we have moved that across to be a grassroots movement where we engage survivors in activities as it relates to their own personal development. We're also involved and we'll be spreading the movement to include young boys and girls. So we are forming a young boys club to look at socialization, how we socialize and how we raise our young boys to be more respectful of young girls and women. We are also looking at doing a pilot program in a secondary school across Dominica, and we will be partnering with Crime Stoppers to put on an initiative for raising funds to go towards women who have and men who have been abused and who are survivors of gender-based violence.
Williams says in the institution's 5 months existence, they have received overwhelming support from the public to carry out its mandate.
Well, we've received tremendous support from our social partners, the Bureau of Gender Affairs, the Dominican National Council of Women, and a number of other social agencies, the NGO Coalition, and also from the corporate sponsors across Dominica. It is really enlightening and encouraging that a lot of these organizations have come on board, not because we've requested, but because they've seen the need to support initiatives like this. Gender-based violence is an issue that touches everyone, whether or not you're a man or woman, whether or not you're in a single parent family or compound family. So really and truly every Dominican should be concerned about these issues, and we are glad that we are able to be that umbrella organization in Dominica to move the process forward.
Turn our attention back at home. The 3rd annual Virgin Islands Literary Festival and Book Fair that kicked off today at the UVI St. Croix campus. Today, students read and performed their writings from now through Saturday. That festival features best-selling authors, some with local ties, workshops, school visits, student writing competitions, and much more.
To encourage writing, it is to encourage literacy, and to sort of hone a literary appetite in the community.
During the morning session, we refer to it as our student soiree, and we just had an opportunity to hear from students in the elementary schools, the junior high schools, and the high schools.
This Literary Fest is great because we're bringing in authors with VI roots and authors that would be of interest to the island, and getting them together to talk to students and to talk to just the general public and to talk to each other and aspiring writers.
Well, just seeing all these lovely students and being able to engage with them and answer their questions, and their parents. I had a lot of parents come up and speak with me as well.
Time for our Carnival Corner. The Junior Calypso competition was held last night, and these youngsters proved age is just a number when it comes to performances right there. Young Calypsonians, they graced the stage to compete for titles in their respective divisions. They were judged on lyrics, melody, clarity, presentation, originality, and rendition. They sang about politics, education, violence, and more, much to the delight of the supportive audience who listened carefully to those lyrics. Let's take a listen.
What we need is love, and our love will conquer all. Watch out to you follow it. Watch out to you follow it. Watch out to you follow it. Watch the life you live. Watch out to you follow it. and put this one on repeat. Thank God that VI is our home.
They have the whole village rocking. Everywhere you go is mass. All in the dance hall. Everybody come have a ball. Party from the night till the man. Guaranteed to be a blast. Here we go. Can you remember Daddy Friday, Giant and Kelly? Can you remember man like Boots, Jones and James? Can you remember?
Some catchy tunes there. So how did our young talent do? Well, here are the winners. In the primary division, Castin Italia, Princess Italia Roach. In the intermediate, first place was Kenia Lady K Maduro. First runner-up, Amari Amigos Phillips. Second runner-up, Kirabo Stevens. Secondary division, first place, I was rooting for him. In first place, Kamoy Prince Kamoy De Silva. First runner-up was Tamari Mighty Mary Lee. Second runner-up, Abriana Princess Abby Gregory. Well, tonight is the cultural night, King and Queen of the Band costume extravaganza. That begins at 8 p.m. Then Friday, looking ahead, April 21st, is the opening of the Carnival Village, Fort Christian, 6 p.m. Saturday, it's the VI Calypso competition and International Explosion. Sunday, it's Panorama or Steelland Jamboree at noon, and the boat races on the waterfront at 10 a.m. It's called the Motorsports Sunday. Meanwhile, construction of the Fort Christian parking lot is almost transformed into a centennial commemoration for our 65th Carnival celebration, to include food by Many Boots, the Children's Village with the rides and fun and games. April 21st is the official opening of Huang's Musical Haven, honoring Huang G. Harrigan. That begins at 6 p.m. On opening night, we can expect village entertainment from DJ Eddie entertaining for the opening ceremony, Milo's King, Hyper Sounds, Final Phase, and Crossfire Entertains. Well, be sure to stick around on News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
Well, today was just a gorgeous day. It doesn't get much better than this, and we have a lot more of this ahead of us for tomorrow. We did have some winds over the last couple of days, and that has made the waves in the ocean a bit choppy and some rip currents, but that's all going to slow down overnight, and we won't experience rip currents, and we'll have much better boating conditions for you tomorrow. So, looking at this radar, we see some precipitation that's heading kind of to the east. We do see some showers over Puerto Rico, but over the islands, well, it's nice and dry, pleasant, not much to talk about. Tonight, the overnight low is 73 degrees, mainly clear skies. And looking at tomorrow, St. John, 83 degrees with partly sunny skies. Same story for St. Thomas, 83 degrees with lots of sunshine. Now, we could see a brief passing shower through St. Croix, 83 degrees, but mostly a sunny day. Small craft, use caution in place again just through tonight. That's going to be lifted tomorrow as those winds improve. Waves are 4 to 6 feet on the Atlantic side. Northeast winds 10 to 15 knots. On the Caribbean side, well, it's a similar story. These small craft advisories are going to lift after tonight as those conditions improve. Waves 3 to 5 feet and winds out of the northeast from 10 to 15 knots. Looking at the 5-day forecast, well, we believe it's going to be pretty pleasant for you this weekend. A shower or two on Friday, 83 degrees. Saturday, we could see a quick passing shower. Nothing major, certainly not something that's going to ruin your day. 83 degrees. On Sunday, we could also see a quick passing shower, but again, nothing that should ruin your plans, especially if you're heading to the beach. Now, on Monday, we could see more clouds and we could see a few more showers move into the area. And the first day we could see any real precipitation, the earliest would be your Tuesday. So a nice couple of days ahead of us. Back to you, Sandy.
Thanks for that. Time for our News 2 weather picture there by Mia Pimentel, a third grader, sharing some sunshine and beautiful, beautiful weather conditions there Mia, thank you for that, brightening up our evening there. Send us your News 2 weather picture to the address on the screen, and be sure to include your name, age, school, and a brief description of your work of art, and tune in to see it right here on News 2. Some news to report about a famous athlete. That's coming up next in sports. Stick around, we'll be right back.
I'm Gary Anthony, and this is News 2 Sports. Convicted murderer and former NFL star Aaron Hernandez, who was serving a life sentence without parole for the 2013 shooting of Odin Lloyd, died after hanging himself in his prison cell early Wednesday morning, according to Massachusetts prison officials. He was 27 years old. Just days ago, he was acquitted of the 2012 fatal shootings of Daniel De Abreu and Safiro Furtado. According to Massachusetts Department of Corrections spokesperson Christopher Fallon, officials had no concern that Hernandez was planning on taking his own life. Ironically, today the New England Patriots, his former team, visited the White House in celebration of their Super Bowl victory. Several Patriots, including Tom Brady, skipped the visit to the White House. From the West Wing to scoring from the wing, NBA playoff action. We've got Game 2, Bucks versus the Raptors. Fourth quarter, and the Greek Freak buries the three. It ties the game at 100. From the wing, DeMar DeRozan, he hits. The Raptors are now up by 2. Under 10 ticks, and Kyle Lowry with the fadeaway, the Raptors win 106-100, and they tie the series at 1 game apiece. Over to Boston we go. The Bulls versus the Celtics, and the Celtics need the win to get even in the series. The third quarter, the Bulls are already up by 7, and ex-Celtic Rajon Rondo with the steal feeds Jimmy Butler for the 3. On to the fourth quarter, the Bulls are up by 13 when Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle Union's husband, he buries the triple, and the Bulls cruise on to victory 111-97 to take a commanding 2-0 series lead. And in LA, the Jazz and the Clippers. The Clippers, well, they're trying to get even in the series. Fourth quarter, Chris Paul with the corner 3. Clippers are now up by 9. Later, Paul to Blake Griffin for another 3. And the Clips tie the series with a 99-91 win. And get your round ball fix with 3 games tonight. The Hawks are at the Wizards, the Thunder are at the Rockets, and the Portland Trail Blazers take on the Golden State Warriors. That's it for sports. Sandy, back to you.
Thanks for that, Gary. That is all for this edition of News 2. We'd like to thank you for joining us for all the latest in news, weather, and sports. I'm Sandra Gomansing. Have a wonderful evening.